I don't know about others, but I really like him. He's tall, not smelly, and he's got that smooth, dark skin. Every movie he's in is better than distilled water, top notch. So, no more beating around the bush. Let's invite everyone to the movies in Haiphong. This guy is none other than Case Walker, a martial arts master with unparalleled strength, a phenomenon who started kung fu training before he could even walk. He's also known as the battle god of the fighting arena. When he kicks, even the sand cries out in pain. Just catching a glimpse of him makes people want to run away. No matter how many enemies there are, they're like children to him. A single foe is as easy to handle as putting a child to sleep, and even with both hands tied, he can take down a dozen cops in the blink of an eye. As glorious as his life may sound, it's full of injustice. A top-tier combat master like Case Walker is now just a king of the past. 3 years ago, due to a single act of self-defense, he had to spend a full 2 years behind bars. No matter how glorious his achievements were, they all became relics of the past, lost in the sands of time. After receiving parole, Case integrated into the community but was forced to end his professional fighting career. Overwhelmed by sorrow, Case Walker spent his days relentlessly training to maintain his coveted physique. His only companion was the dilapidated old martial arts school, and even he didn't know how long these days would last. But do you think Case's fighting spirit died? Wondering and answering for himself, of course not. If he couldn't step into the ring, he'd let someone else take his place. Case, in order to keep the martial spirit alive, took in 4 disciples with different talents. The first disciple was a guy named Tim, who had nothing but a massive debt after his father passed away. Tim wanted to quit school to help his mother make a living and feed his 2 younger siblings. However, his mother had different plans and insisted on working hard to support the 3 of them and send Tim to college. But to Tim's surprise, he discovered that his mother was working as a waitress at a strip club. Devastated by this revelation, he sought out martial arts master Case Walker to train in martial arts and help him forget his unfortunate circumstances. The second disciple was Justin, who was bald on the top of his head but had a lot of hair elsewhere. He worked as a cashier at a comic book store and, despite his robust build, he often became the target of bullies who enjoyed giving people unprovoked massages. By chance, he stumbled upon Case's martial arts gym while Tim was training. The gang of bullies had intended to target Tim, but when Case appeared, they quickly fled in fear. From that moment on, he decided to become a disciple of the martial arts master, considering Case as his mentor. With this new identity, Case would never have guessed that Justin would become a loyal and dedicated disciple in the future. The third disciple of Case Walker was Jack, a former amateur boxer in the local circuit. However, a doctor had firmly concluded that he couldn't continue his boxing career. His retinas had been damaged from previous fights, and if he kept competing, one powerful punch to the eye could potentially lead him to join the Association of People Who Stare at the Sun Without Getting Blinded, which is to say, he would become blind. Finally, the youngest disciple was Mai, a guy nicknamed the Wrestling Kid, despite being 18 and still not having any romantic experiences. Mai, confident in his masculine physique, decided to confess his feelings to a girl he had secretly admired for a long time, Ava. Ava, however, delivered the heart-wrenching news that she was already taken, dating none other than Jack. Heartbroken and overwhelmed, Mai learned that his father had recently left the family to follow another man. The shock was intensified when he found out that his father was involved in a sword-fighting cult and had been ridiculed by a rival wrestler. Unable to control his emotions, Mai engaged in a street brawl, challenging his opponent to a bare-knuckle fight and even striking his coach. This resulted in his expulsion from wrestling, leading Mai to register for an upcoming underground martial arts tournament. Coincidentally, Jack shared the same idea and met Max, the organizer of the tournament. In order to qualify, both of them honed their martial skills to impress Max. However, Max appeared somewhat uninterested, questioning why Jack, a boxer, and Mai, a wrestler, fought like they were brawling in a street fight. Jack explained that this was freestyle martial arts, encompassing various disciplines such as boxing, wrestling, judo, karate, and more. Realizing their lack of experience, they sought help from the most well-rounded martial artist in the world, Case Walker. Learning from him for a day would be equivalent to a year of training anywhere else. Immediately, the 2 aspiring martial artists sought out Case, proposing to become his disciples. Case responded by saying, "What do I gain from teaching you 2 knuckleheads?" and promptly kicked them out of his dojo. However, Mai and Jack refused to give up, sensing the fiery determination within themselves. Case eventually agreed but laid down his terms. He stated that their tuition fee would be a sack of potatoes and cleaning the bathroom at his 10-star hotel. He emphasized that he wouldn't teach them what they wanted to learn but rather what they needed. After sealing the deal, the 2 of them dove headfirst into training. However, Mai, the youngest, had an entirely different approach compared to the other 3. Case didn't instruct him in conventional techniques but instead made him practice punching a white sheet of paper hanging from a string. He had to punch it until he could make a hole in the center, at which point Case would start teaching him how to fight. In reality, this special and unconventional guy turned out to be a great fit for mastering Chinese martial arts, particularly the Thon Qian technique, which required precision and control. For 5 5 years, the master and his disciples dedicated themselves to rigorous training, sweat pouring both above and below them. Fueled by their burning passion for martial arts, Case Walker was equally enthusiastic about passing on all his knowledge to his students. He hoped that his students would use martial arts to fight for justice and bring glory to themselves. Training during the day was not enough, the disciples practiced at night as well. Their master's motto was, "If you forget to eat, forget to sleep, and forget everything else, you'll become a true martial artist." Though they might have appeared like a bunch of misfits, the students, including Mai, didn't care about distractions like romance. They knew that kung fu was everything. As the annual underground boxing match at the university approached, the master and his disciples trained relentlessly. However, in the midst of their passionate pursuit, 2 police officers arrived to harass them. Despite adhering to the law and focusing on training, due to their skin color and prior criminal records, the police insisted on shutting down their outdoor dojo without reason. They wanted Case to leave the area and no longer enjoy the privileges that ordinary citizens had. It seemed difficult for these guys to turn over a new leaf and become law-abiding citizens, didn't it? Case felt deeply disappointed and secluded himself in his room. Fortunately, his disciples came to his aid and helped him overcome this difficult period. With the help of Eva, Jack's girlfriend, everyone joined forces to rent an old warehouse. They cleaned and refurbished it to create a surprise for their master, a new martial arts dojo named Case Walker. Although it was just an old warehouse with borrowed equipment, they managed to turn it into a martial arts dojo brimming with powerful energy. It might have been simple, but compared to the outdoor training area they had before, this place was like a paradise. Case was overwhelmed with gratitude. It had been a long time since he had the opportunity to train in such a well-equipped facility. Max, their promoter, was also present, showing off his skills with a flashy kick and various moves. However, Case silently smashed through a wooden dummy with a devastating kick that shattered it into pieces, leaving everyone in awe. From that moment on, the new dojo was officially opened and put to use. The journey to pursue the dreams of the 5 master and disciples of the martial arts dojo begins again. In this place, the master and his students train with even more determination. Firstly, they focus on physical fitness, as they believe that having good health is everything. Before heading to the training room, Case made the entire group run 10 kilometers to enhance their endurance. After that, they worked with heavy sandbags to strengthen their shoulder and thigh muscles. Next was rope climbing to develop their arm strength. The final part of their comprehensive physical training was 5,000 push-ups. Once the physical fitness of the disciples had reached a new level, Case moved on to combat skills training for the whole team. Control was the best soft combat technique and extremely important for a martial artist. The master taught his students the skill of using the legs to lock while simultaneously applying pressure to the opponent's neck with the arms. This was followed by the Thon Kien technique, attacking a paper sheet hanging in midair. This punch was inspired by Bruce Lee's martial arts and allowed fighters to deliver devastating blows even at close range. Agility was also a crucial factor in determining the success of a martial artist. Combined with powerful punches, it made it difficult for any opponent to defend themselves. In the context of freestyle martial arts, kicking was an advantage. Spinning kicks often left opponents completely disoriented. Each exercise had a specific goal, and everything was proceeding in an orderly manner. They recognized that Jack's challenge was his damaged left retina. Case told him to conquer his own circumstances no matter how difficult they might be. Case taught Jack to switch to using his left hand to protect his injured eye. Truly, nothing could escape the watchful eye of a seasoned master like Case. Knowing that Mai often struggled with focus and controlling his emotions, especially regarding his father being a BD, Case used psychological techniques to help him manage his anger. In a short period, the martial artists made remarkable progress in all aspects of their training. However, Mr. Max, their promoter, noticed that there was a very low number of spectators registered to attend and place bets on the upcoming beatdown tournament. Case advised him to improve the advertising. Max quickly realized this and filmed a video of Jack's performance in preparation for the beatdown competition. He then posted it online. To everyone's surprise, the video garnered millions of views, attracting a large number of fans who were eager to attend and bet on the competition. Jack also became extremely famous, and wherever he went, there were crowds of admirers following him. It seemed effortless for him to attract the attention of women, and he had many relationships. He even texted Eva, breaking up with her after feeling bitter about being cheated on. Eva, hurt by the betrayal, sought comfort in Mai to fill the void. Mai had secretly admired her for a long time but had never had the opportunity to express his feelings. Then, as swiftly as the wind, Mai and Eva started dating, and things progressed naturally. Meanwhile, Tim was waiting for his mother at a local bar. At this very moment, a few drunken troublemakers were causing a ruckus, using the martial arts techniques that their master, Case, had taught them. Tim easily subdued the troublemakers by using his skills. The bar owner was highly impressed and invited Tim to become the captain of their security team. Tim agreed, but on the condition that the bar owner had to fire his own mother. It seemed there was quite a conflict within Tim's family. As for Justin, the bald-headed one, he was offering a free car tire wash using his specialized cleaning solution when the car owner quickly noticed him. Coincidentally, the people he was dealing with turned out to be the same gang of thugs who used to give him a hard time in the past. Once again, these individuals charged at him aggressively. This time, Justin was unfazed. He seized the opportunity to grab one of them and used his leg to break his teeth like cracking peanuts. He then sent the next guy to Vietnam to buy medicine from traditional bone healers. The others fell with just 3 punches each, leaving only the leader, who was now meekly apologizing. But Justin was too fired up by then. He grabbed a stick and continued hitting the leader until his anger subsided. After dealing with them all, Justin went to meet his master with a face smeared with blood. Case was completely silent and disappointed. He had taught his disciples combat skills to participate in the competition, not to engage in fights. Moreover, he was under police surveillance, and any such incidents drew unwanted attention. In order to avoid further trouble, Case immediately expelled Justin from the dojo. Justin, the bald-headed one, had thought his master would praise him, but instead, Case poured cold water on his enthusiasm. Justin, feeling embarrassed and angry, had no choice but to leave. The next day, Max had everything prepared for the competition. However, that evening, the police suddenly showed up to inquire about Case's well-being. What was even worse was that they found illegal firearms in Case's G63. It was clear that Case had been set up, and the culprit turned out to be his second disciple, Justin, the guy with the good hair. Angry at being expelled by Case, Justin had planted the guns in Case's car and then reported it to the police for a search. The FBI agents, ignoring Case's explanation, tried to forcefully subdue him. However, Case might be handsome, but he was far from being easy prey. Even with his hands handcuffed, dealing with a bunch of racially biased thugs was like swatting flies for him. His moves flowed like water but were incredibly powerful, and Case easily outmaneuvered a dozen of them. Meanwhile, Max, who was sitting in the back, witnessed the entire incident. Realizing that these people had ill intentions towards Case, Max quickly arranged for his master to leave the scene. Upon receiving the news that their teacher was in trouble, 3 disciples were present and took their teacher to a police station in another district to surrender and clear his name. Luckily, the detectives here kindly investigated and found out that Justin jumped on his father's gun and murdered Case. But at the other station, even if Case jumped into the Talich River, he wouldn't be able to wash away all his sins. However, regarding the procedure, the master was not allowed to leave yet. The 3 disciples were bitter. Everyone wanted to go back and punch Justin's mouth to pieces to avenge their master. On the following evening, the martial arts competition took place. Without their master to support them, the disciples had to go into the competition on their own. The audience was packed, cheering for their favorite fighters. To their surprise, the conniving Justin was also present at the competition, participating in the event. Despite his moral downfall, framing their master and sending him to jail, Justin had become a skilled fighter. He was the first to step into the ring, transforming from the boy who used to get bullied into a formidable martial artist. Justin repeatedly took down his opponent, leaving them in tears. He applied various locks and continuous strikes, ultimately forcing his opponent to submit, ending the match. Next up was Mai, the youngest disciple, facing an opponent who stood no chance against his skills. With a single aerial kick, Mai quickly incapacitated his opponent, who was promptly disqualified. This victory served as a morale boost for the remaining disciples. The second fighter to compete was Jack, who had a massive female fan following in the audience. His opponent, however, stood no chance as Jack dominated the match from the very beginning. Jack utilized all his strengths and unleashed powerful strikes. He even applied a technique that his master had taught him, causing his opponent to submit. The final fighter was Tim, a skilled striker with a formidable power. In less than 3 seconds, he knocked out his opponent, leaving the audience cheering loudly. The 3 brothers secured a glorious victory, advancing to the quarterfinals. Justin was the first to compete. Looking at his arrogant face, everyone who saw him wanted to shoot. As soon as he got up, he knocked the opponent down and locked him. He kept grinning like a sick man. After that, he continued to cling to the net and refused to let go. When the audience saw it, they were extremely angry. He took the opportunity to thrust his groin behind him, hug his opponent's neck, and win in a dirty way. Playing dirty jokes is worse than Saint BB Tran. Next was Mai. His opponent this time was heavier. He knocked him down and locked his legs, causing Mai pain. He immediately turned around and gave him a knee to the face to unlock the lock. At this time, Mai revealed to the other person what politeness is. just say goodbye with a straight face. However, the opponent suddenly threw him down. Mai showed him what a real leg lock is. Jack, as usual, didn't disappoint and delivered a knockout punch that ended the fight spectacularly, leaving the fans in awe. Tim, who was the last to compete, faced a formidable opponent with size and experience. However, Tim quickly broke free from his opponent's hold and unleashed a furious assault that left his opponent unable to counter. Tim then carried his defeated opponent and laid him on the mat. The three of them continued their journey confidently into the semifinals, with Justin, despite his dirty tactics, also making it to the next round for some shared celebrations. The semifinals brought intense matchups, and this was a chance for one of the three brothers to seek revenge for their master. In the first semifinal, Mai faced Jack, and in the second, Justin with a bald head confronted Tim. Mai and Jack, coming from the same school of martial arts, seemed evenly matched, but intelligence and strategy would play a crucial role. They exchanged blows fiercely, with Jack landing a powerful punch, and Mai responding with a knee strike. It was a brutal and intense battle. In the end, Mai used his wrestling skills to take Jack down and then applied a chokehold like an anaconda, forcing Jack to concede defeat. In the other semifinal, Justin and Tim faced off in the restroom area. Justin, always looking for an edge, taunted Tim before attacking him with a metal rod and delivering 3 knee strikes, causing Tim to collapse. Justin continued to resort to dirty tactics to achieve his goals. Outside the ring, Mai had emerged victorious, but the brotherly bond remained strong. Justin, with his confident swagger after his dirty tricks, stepped onto the mat. Tim, despite trying his best, couldn't participate due to a severe leg injury. The final match had to begin immediately, causing Mai, who had just finished a grueling battle, to step onto the arena. As Case's most satisfied disciple, he didn't want to disappoint his master. The battle started, and the two enemies faced each other with intense hatred. There were no unnecessary movements or words. They locked onto each other's necks and exchanged punches relentlessly. It seemed like all the martial arts skills that Master Case Walker had taught them would be unleashed in this fight. They kept pummeling each other with a continuous barrage of punches to the face, and intricate joint locks were attempted, but both sides managed to break free. Due to the energy Mai had expended in his previous fight, he began to be overwhelmed by Justin. Justin continued to attack relentlessly, using various techniques. However, Mai managed to escape some of his holds. The first round quickly came to an end, and Mai retreated to his corner to rest, unexpectedly seeing Master Case. It turned out that the police had just completed their investigation and released him. Master Case praised Mai for his performance and offered advice. When dealing with dirty fighters like Justin, Mai should make his strikes look like fire and go for the jugular even more. The master's wisdom inspired Mai to fight harder in the final round. The second round was about to begin, and Mai returned to the ring, still enduring a barrage of kicks to his legs from Justin, which had caused him extreme pain. But suddenly, Mai broke into a smile. He delivered a powerful straight punch to Justin's face, which was the 1-inch punch that Master Case had trained him in. This punch seemed to have stored energy from all the previous hits, leaving Justin disoriented. Following that, Mai landed a brutal kick to Justin's jaw, making him scramble to find his dislodged teeth. It turned out that Mai had been pretending all along. Case had seen through this aspect of Mai's strategy earlier. His purpose was to wait for an opportunity to counterattack when the opponent let their guard down. Justin, thoroughly bewildered, was knocked down by Mai's relentless strikes, and Mai unleashed his final move. He immobilized Justin's arms and legs, but Justin refused to admit defeat. Mai had the upper hand, and he broke Justin's shoulder. The referee intervened and declared Mai the winner. Suddenly, Justin jumped up, intending to attack Mai from behind. The result was that he received a punch to the forehead, ending his attempts to create chaos. The crowd erupted in excitement. Mai had not disappointed anyone and had won the championship. The whole group had avenged their master, Case Walker. Just at that moment, Case received a call from the arena's owner. He had successfully appealed to the court and officially invited Case back to the arena to return as the undefeated god, promising to unleash the rage within him. The next part of the story promises to be incredibly exciting as the god Case Walker returns to the ring. The movie shows us that in any game, betrayers will always face bitter consequences, and those who used to be troublemakers like Justin Baldhead will have an even more dismal fate. Besides, with faith and determination, we can overcome our own obstacles on the path to success. As for those who want to have many lovers, they should follow the example of Jack or earn a lot of money through legitimate means. And if they find themselves without a partner at that time, they can always come back to love me, with the promise and assurance. Today's movie review comes to an end here. If you found this video enjoyable, don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel to support us. If you'd like me to review another movie, please leave your comments below. Goodbye, and see you again.